This week, we begin a special 5-part series on the classic Universal monster movies as entrees to compliance. The compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short, curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. In this part 1, we take a look at the Boris Karloff version of Frankenstein. As most people know, he did not play Dr. Frankenstein, but Frankenstein's monster, and it turns out there's some pretty good compliance lessons from this movie. So we're just going to go into the compliance lessons without really giving the synopsis of the movie. I assume most people know the synopsis. Number 1, ambition without boundaries leads to disaster. Henry Frankenstein, i.e. the doctor, is driven by ambition. His vision of creating man in his own image pushes him to conduct experiments outside the accepted ethical rules and scientific norms. He isolates himself from his colleagues, ignores established rules, and convinces only a single assistant to support his reckless project. For compliance officers, this is a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition overrides governance. In corporate life, ambition often comes in the form of growth targets, market entry deadlines, and technical breakthroughs. The drive itself is not wrong, but when ambition operates without boundaries, the risks multiply. 2, oversight and accountability cannot be delegated away. One of the striking elements of the film is how Henry Frankenstein assumes total authority but shirks responsibility once things spiral out of control. His assistant mistreats the monster, provoking violence, while Henry himself appears to be in denial. When the creature escapes, Henry claims never to have intended harm. This mirrors what regulators often see in enforcement actions. Executives who authorize high-risk ventures then argue they were unaware of any misconduct. If the DOJ's ECCP accountability is crystal clear, leadership must own the risk and responsibility, and it cannot be delegated away. 3, culture determines outcomes. Perhaps the most tragic part of Frankenstein's monster is he is not inherently evil. In fact, he demonstrates innocence and curiosity, most famous in the heartbreaking scene with the little girl by the lake. Yet he is rejected and mistreated and feared. The culture around him, suspicion, hostility, and secrecy drive him to violence. In the corporate context, this is a stark reminder that culture determines how people behave. Employees are not born unethical. Culture shapes them. If an organization fosters openness, respect, and ethical decision-making, employees are more likely to do the right thing. Number 4, emerging risks require continuous assessment. Henry Frankenstein believed that he understood the risks involved, yet he was not what he anticipated. This is exactly the type of oversight the DOJ emphasizes. Risk is not static. New markets, new situations, new products. And number 5, crisis management requires preparation, not panic. The climax of the film, with the villagers wielding torches storming the castle, is pure chaos. By then, no plan exists. Dr. Frankenstein is reactive, not proactive. Instead of containing the situation, he lets panic dictate the outcome. The monster is hunted down, the laboratory destroyed, and the community is traumatized by the entire event. Today's compliance challenges are not unlike Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory. They include bold ambitions and numerous changes in risk, including geopolitical, cultural, and now the Trump administration. This is a valuable lesson for you to consider when thinking about Frankenstein's monster. Things that I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip, either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced